Hello, welcome to the Geri Academy podcast with your host, geriatrician Dr. Golnur Sharafsaleh, providing you with information on aging-related topics. Learn more at geriacademy.com and follow me on social media. Hello, Geri Academy listeners. This is Dr. G, the geriatrician, on another episode of Geri Academy. Today, I have a special guest, Mr. Hush Cummings. He is my most recent friend, and he is one sexy 70-year-old man. So welcome, Hush, to the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
Well, thanks for having me, Dr. G. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm going to give our listeners a little bit of context. We've recently moved to Asheville, North Carolina, and I was a little bit kind of lonely. I enjoy exercising. I enjoyed having a community feel, and I was able to join a gym. And Hush, this wonderful, sexy 70-year-old man, works out there every Friday with a group of women and he is so strong and he is so devoted and he's always there. And I have just been so impressed by the way he is so dedicated to his health. And not only that, he agreed to come on and talk about just sort of his philosophy on exercise and aging, because I think it's very important. So, Hush, tell me what you did before you retired.
I was in food sales. I worked for a food company, and I sold food to restaurants and nursing homes and hospitals. And I did that. I've always been in the food business. I was in the restaurant business before that. And then I got tired of all that and retired.
Okay. How old were you when you retired?
62.
62. Okay, so it's been a while since you've retired and you've been active. I know that Dana, the wonderful, wonderful instructor we have, has been with you for years now, and she just loves seeing your presence every single week. But what is your philosophy on exercise?
Well, I mean, when I was about 45, I was probably 30 pounds overweight and starting to have some issues, health issues, or the doctor said I was anyway, some blood pressure, pre-diabetes and stuff like that. And now I've always worked out somewhat, but not not dedicated to it. So and then I read a book. It was called Younger Next Year, and it's by Chris Crowley and a doctor named Harry from New York. He's an internist.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically, it says that you either work out or you decay. And I didn't feel like decaying. So
Sure.
I, uh, I started working out a little harder. What they would say is that you need to work out 6 days a week hard. And it
Okay.
sends a message to your body that, that, we're in this for the long run here. And uh, I just started that. It became a habit, basically.
Okay. Now, you said something to me. You said that whenever you would go on vacation with your family, you always made sure that the hotel had a gym. So I know how dedicated you are. But what motivates you to keep going every single day?
Well, I mean, I saw um, a lot of people, that were older than me, and they were having problems just getting around. And and I saw, and I was a football coach for a little while, and I used to lift heavy weights and stuff like that. And I looked at these people, and I'm going, I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to get up out of a chair. I want to do what I want to do. I want to open a jar, and so I started training to get old. Is what I basically did. So I changed my training habits, and it just, I want to feel good as I mature.
That makes sense. So in my practice, I see patients 55 years and older, and my partner, Dr. Marshall, and I decided like that's a good age to try to get to know people, because I really feel like people in their 50s start to develop chronic disease, or they can start to like live a healthier life and prevent disease into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. And so I'm really impressed by just your dedication. Now, what about your diet? Has anything changed about your diet? What kind of things do you eat?
Oh yeah, it just keeps evolving. But basically, I mean, I was a cheeseburger and fry guy up until about 50, and um, just ate anything I wanted. And now I've gone from the cheeseburger and fries to uh, more seafood, veggies, and fruits. So, and it works. I mean, I don't crave it anymore. I don't really want the fast food unless unless you're on a trip and you have to get something quick. I mean, I'll stop and get it, but it's not one of my favorite things anymore. So, and the other food now tastes a whole lot better. And I try to stay away from salt and sugar, especially sugar. I mean, the thing I learned about sugar is that if once you start eating sugar, like a cookie or a piece of cake, you just want more of it. Every time you see it, you want some more. So it's better not to eat it than to start eating it and continue eating it. So basically,
Okay.
try to eat healthy every day.
But no, that makes total sense. Now, do you kind of get the same satisfaction from exercising as you would, let's say, having a donut? Do you get the same sort of feel?
No, I ain't had a donut in 20 years, so
Ah!
I don't know what that is. So, but it, when I work out, I mean, it's just a feeling after you work out that
Uh-huh.
you just feel. I don't, I don't know the science behind it. I just feel good. I feel good for the rest of the day, and I can, I get a lot done if I work out in the morning,
Okay.
every morning. So it just seems to give me. It doesn't sound like it, but it gives me more energy to do other things.
That makes total sense. Now, what about when you first started? Were you getting sore? How did you work through that? Or
Well, and that's the thing you gotta find your niche. And I worked out, I lifted heavy weights with the football team, and then I didn't lift any weights for a long time. And then I ran for a while. And what it basically boiled down to is, in the last 10 years, is just going to the gym. And the gym does a whole lot of things for me. Uh, I get my exercise and I go to these classes that Dana teaches.
yep.
And I'm one of those people that if you have somebody kind of pushing you along,
Hmm.
I do better. And so, it took me a while to find that niche. And I go to her class 3 times a week. And then one of the classes is a spin class. And I do exercise. I got a gym downstairs in my house. And then I work out at home 2 other days a week. And then one day a week, I just stretch. That's all I do for about 45 minutes, which it doesn't sound like very much, but it really helps to stretch.
Oh, okay, good. I mean, that's good to know. So, what kind of stretches are you doing?
Oh, I lay on the floor and I look on, which is a good place to go is you go on YouTube
Uh huh.
or Silver Sneakers or something like that, and there are all kind of stretches and all kind of workouts for every level. I mean,
Okay.
every level, that every age group is basically what I'm saying. If you're not experienced, they have beginner classes, and you can find what you want on the internet. Some of it you don't want, but
Okay.
uh,
Now, what about like alcohol or soda or coffee? Do you have any of those things in your diet?
well, I'm not a choir boy. So, but I don't drink coffee. I
Uh-huh.
don't drink. I gave up um, Cokes, Diet Cokes, about 20 years ago, and had had one since then. They were, oh, I'm glad I did that. And then,
Yeah.
but I drink. My vice is I drink unsweet tea, just about most of the day. So,
Wait, did you
and
say unsweet or sweet? Do you mix them?
unsweet,
Unsweet.
unsweet.
Yep. Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's where I get my caffeine is unsweet, and uh, I'm not above having a beer.
Oh yeah, of course the
Uh,
beer is awesome.
if you
Every
live
day
in Asheville, you better drink a
you
beer.
with all the breweries here, exactly. Well, when I moved to the South, the first time I was in Winston-Salem, and I ordered an unsweet tea at a restaurant, and the lady looked at me like I was insane. She's like, "I've never heard of that before." I
Yeah,
said, "What?"
yeah, yeah. Most of it's got more sugar than you need a week in a whole week. So, but it's a Southern drink. So,
Yeah. So, and then what's your favorite beer?
oh, this
Are you an
Sierra.
IPA guy or like
Yeah, I'm an IPA
you're
guy.
an IPA
Basically,
guy?
the
True
Sierra
beer.
Nevada makes a good one.
Ooh,
New
yeah.
Belgium makes some really good beer, and we're lucky to have
So
and
lucky.
then there's so many small breweries around here that really make some good beer. I mean,
Yeah.
you can find what you want.
No, that sounds good. So, exercise almost every day, incorporate stretching into it, eat kind of like almost everything as long as it's a good fruit or maybe a good protein and a good beer once in a while, right? Those are your secrets?
Yeah, and I stay away from fried foods. I'm not a big
Good.
fried food guy anymore.
Okay. How about breads? Are you into bread and grains?
I found some bread at the grocery store, and it's like a 9 grain. And
Okay. Yeah.
there's another one. I think it's made by Dave's or somebody, and it's like 21 grains,
Uh huh.
but it gets real grainy. But I mean, I hadn't had a piece of white bread in 20 years, so. But I just try to see what's healthy out there.
I know. And like just watching you come into the gym with all this confidence, right? I mean, you just turned 70 and we had to do those 70 squats. Half of them were jump squats, and we had to do running to celebrate your birthday. And it was awesome. But like, I can tell that you are going to be just as active and just as strong. I mean, for the next decades to come. And like you're such an inspiration. So and a lot of times what happens is like I tell my patients, you got to exercise. You have to eat like this. And I think they're like, "Oh, well, she's young. It's different." But when it's someone else, you're that age. And it's like, if you take his advice, you can truly take his advice because he knows he's your age. Look at
Well,
him.
I mean, you don't have to go to a gym. I mean, the gym for me is just as much social
Yeah.
as it is exercise. It's and it about killed me when we had the COVID lockdown, and I had to build my gym downstairs, and because you see other people and you're around other people and you're laughing and cutting up, and it's
Mhm.
just as much healthy to do that as it is to exercise. And you don't have to do hour-long classes or spin classes, or just walk, just move, just do what you can do and build on what you start with. I mean, do a little bit more the next time, and eat healthy, and the reason, I mean, it'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop you from getting old, but it's going to make you feel good.
Well, and I mean, as we all age, I think it helps you maintain your independence, right? You are going
Oh
to be
yeah.
independent for hopefully the rest of your life because you're maintaining that muscle strength, muscle tone. And I think the other thing about staying strong and having cardiovascular exercise, it's one of the only things that we know for sure that can help delay, prevent dementia because you get that circulation into your brain. So I think that's another reason I promote it heavily.
Well,
Any,
I got some pretty good genes. My
yeah,
mother, my daddy's 98 and my mother's 96, and they, they're still they're still there, and they still make a lot of sense, and you can have a great conversation with them. They're just not going to go run around the block with you.
that
they,
sounds.
they can, they're the body's basically gone for them, but it's the brains are still there because they were active and they played golf and all the time, and stayed active, and they ate 3 healthy meals a day, and it served them well.
Oh, that is good advice. What else do you have to say to the listeners?
Just move.
Just move. I love that. I love that.
Don't
Thank you.
sit there. Don't sit there. Just get up and do something.
Thank you so much for just these recommendations and having this conversation with me today. Is there anything else you want to share before we end our talk?
No, that's pretty much all. That's much I said in 6 months. So,
Thank you. Thank you. And, honestly, like a shout out to Asheville Racket Club that I've sort of found this amazing community now. And, moving to a new place is hard, but they've definitely made it safe for people to go there. And everyone is so awesome there. So just thanking them. And I mean, I guess it's because of them I met you. So I'll see you next week in class. I had my COVID booster, so I was a little bit sore this past week. That's why I didn't show up.
yeah.
And, stay safe out there. I'll see you on Friday in our class.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
See you. Bye, Dr. G.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Jerry Academy podcast. Learn more at jerryacademy.com or follow me on social media for information on future episodes.